20 minutes from advancing to the gold medal game, the United States with an 8-point lead over Lithuania. Short time ago, our Mark Stein caught up with Klay Thompson.
Klay, you continue to produce points off the bench. What's the trick? It's different than your starting role normally with Golden State.
Well, it's easy out there when you play with, four of the best young guys in the NBA. So my job to get shots is easy when there's so much attention on everybody else. And it's nothing different as if I was starting, just to come in and be aggressive, hunt my shot, and play solid defense.
A lot of whistles out there on both sides. How edgy is it for you guys?
Well, it's edgy. That's what's going to happen when both teams want to get the gold so bad. And, whether it's Lithuania in our way or anybody else, it's going to be physical. And they don't back down. We expected that. And, it's going to be chippy. That's what makes it fun.
Thanks, Klay.
All right, thank you.
Klay with 14 in the first half. United States will have the first possession. Curry, the jump pass for Reed, having to save it. It was kind of an ugly first half as Lithuania turns over the U.S. on its first possession. Ugly's good if you're the Lithuania coach.
No question. They wanted a chippy game. That's how they play. They've baited Team USA into fouls. And neither team has produced a masterpiece to this point. But that favors Lithuania in an ugly game like this.
Jonas Mačiulis reaching in to slow down the United States. Only his first foul of the game.
Well, Lithuania has a lot of depth like Team USA, and they can afford that foul at the expense of a break.
How about Harden attacking the rim? Very aggressive
Absolutely.
approach.
If you're Team USA right now, you're just thinking in mindset, let's get up double digits. Let's get up 12-14.
Those are the first 2 points for James Harden. Also had a scoreless first half against Slovenia. Mačiulis double pumps.
That's just, where's the defense?
Skamish just missing the shot there. And the U.S. gets away with one as Harden thought about a shot. Curry the ball fake and the make for 3.
That's about as an easy rhythm jumper as you'll see, and Steph Curry's going to make about 80% of those. Watch how easy this is. Now you give him that look, he's going to knock down the vast majority. Good ball movement. Mark, just that side-to-side passing stretched that Lithuania defense enough that the defender bit on the shot fake by Curry.
10 points now for Steph Curry, as he and Klay Thompson have combined for 22 points per game average. Largest lead of the semifinal for the U.S., up 13. Thompson in traffic jacks one up. Anthony Davis there to clean it.
We've said it so many times. Davis and Fareed, they treat those missed shots as passes to themselves. I love the fact that they're always around the rim when a shot goes up on the offensive end.
U.S. Opening with the
That's
first 7 points.
That's a gamble you don't need if you're James Harden.
And it worked out on the turnover. You talk about all those missed shots that turn to passes. Here's Harden from long range hitting. What a start to the second half. 10-0 run to start the third quarter.
Lithuania, Mark, officially in trouble.
And calling for time. Down to the Final Four in the FIBA Basketball World Cup. United States and Lithuania trying to advance to Madrid for Sunday's gold medal game. Both teams are going to head to Madrid. There's going to be a bronze medal game as well on Saturday for the loser. And then, of course, France, the big upset of Spain yesterday against Serbia in the other semifinal tomorrow.
And Spain's not even going to get a chance to medal, so it's a complete disappointment. That's Steph Curry's 4th foul right there.
So Curry may be getting a seat on the bench pretty soon. Yeah, the newspapers in Spain, LPS with the, we'll take a look at the replay on Steph Curry's 4th, the reach in there. As Curry with 4, you see Harden, Fareed, Davis, and Cousins each with 2. Some of the newspapers, LPS, Orenga y la debacle. Orenga's the head coach of Spanish.
I know Orenga's the coach, and I know debacle means debacle.
You got that one. And Marca newspaper had a headline that said, Bayonne Chesta, which of course is not even a Spanish word. They're playing off the baloncesto, which is basketball. It's more of a basketball depression.
Wow.
In Spain, all across the country.
Well, Team USA has been devastating in third quarters of their games so far. Outscoring teams by, here you see Arvydas Sabonis by over 70 points in the first 8 games.
We talk about Lithuanian royalty.
No question. One of the great players ever in international play. And this guy, Klay Thompson, continues to light it up.
He's got 16. You loved his comments to Mark Stein at halftime.
He loved Chippy. You play Lithuania, you're going to be in a chippy game, and they have battled. They battled in that first half. Team USA played very ugly in the first half, as did Lithuania. But now you're seeing their firepower take over.
We have seen a number of times in this tournament the slow start for the U.S. and then that standing 8 count for the opposing team at the start of the second half. And right now Lithuania is on the ropes. And that's going to be a travel call against Anthony Davis. It's like lightning. Next thing you know,
yes.
A 20-point lead for the U.S.
Coach K, you know what? The guy has been incredible. Really, the job he's done going back to 2006. And the best thing about this team and the USA program is there's that healthy respect for international basketball right now. And
Davis the block.
And you know, I know it's kept him energized, and I think it's really even helped his Duke career. But they have maintained their focus game by game, even when they don't play their best. And of course, their not best is often still good enough to beat anybody in this tournament, as they've proven. But he is a master of getting these guys to just buy into the whole USA experience. And even Klay Thompson, didn't he tweet today about today being a special day, 9/11, playing for all those folks?
He tweeted out saying, we have a special opportunity tonight as Kyrie Irving finishes on the slam. We have a special opportunity to honor those who perished on the tragic, unforgettable day 13 years ago by playing as hard as we can. That was a couple hours before the tip tonight.
Now, so far in this third quarter, they've taken the heart out of Lithuania. And so you don't want to give them a chance to get back in this game.
Another Lithuanian turnover. Harden pulls up for 3 and missed it badly. This is Martinez Pocius, finds a cutter. Great touch pass. Basket won't fall, though, for Maciulis. And you can see the slumped shoulders from Maciulis.
There's that foul. That was a great pass by Harden, but it's not going to count because watch Serbutis with the foul, and he raises his hand quickly to make sure the official knows. In case you missed it, I did foul him.
And that'll be number 3 on Ronaldo Serbutis, who really carried this Lithuanian team against Turkey after the slow start on Tuesday.
He's been one of their mainstays for a long time. Watched him kind of grow up. He played in Dallas when he was a young player with the Lithuanian under-19 team. Watched a lot of these guys, Kuzminskas, Maciulis, Jankunas, who got hurt earlier.
Kuzminskas had a great first half, just got picked. Kyrie leaves it for Davis for the jam.
Lithuania battled for 20 minutes. And right now, Team USA trying to deliver the knockout blow and get ready for their trip to Madrid.
18-2 start to the third quarter. We've seen this script before. Nice play by Pocius with the left hand.
It's homecoming for Marty Pocius with Coach K here. Jeff Capel, one of his assistant coaches, who, by the way, we were communicating this morning, and he said, I had the Spain scouting report down pat, and now I've been watching France all morning.
Off the U.S. turnover, Adas Jaskevicius with the basket.
One of the things that used to drive me batty as a coach is when you have a chance to really put a team away, you don't want to let these guys back into this game right now with sloppy play.
And the loose ball foul against. Let's take a look at the third quarter right now. What USA has done to blow this wide open.
Yeah, they've dominated the quarter. They came out. Been a habit of theirs to really refocus on the third quarter coming out at halftime. But you got Mason Plumlee, Kyrie Irving, a lot of guys that wear the Duke Blue Devil uniform.
Foul on the other end was on Irving, his first, which turned it over to Lithuania. And now Jaskevicius will head to the line as Anthony Davis picks up his third foul.
You know, we saw Arvydas Sabonis a little earlier. His son Donatas will be a freshman at Gonzaga this year.
Wow.
About 6'10".
That makes you feel a little old, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, good player. Mark Few's got a very good team. He's got that international front line this year with Przemek Karnowski from Poland, Kyle Wiltshire from Canada, the transfer from Kentucky, and now Donatas Sabonis, who played last year in the ACB.
One of the best leagues. Some feel it's the second best league in the world, right? Next to the NBA?
I think as a country, yes. You know, the Euro League is a combination of all those leagues in Europe, as they kind of treat it like the Champions League in soccer. But country by country, I think Spain is the second best league in the world right now.
Lithuania coming up with 6 straight points, and Kyrie Irving trying to get to the basket, but Anas Jaskevicius got a hand on him. That'll be his first.
I like the little lime green touch in the officials' uniforms, you know, the very stylish. See the foul out top. Jaskevicius just raises his hand. I think he had to foul Irving twice there. This young guy was a late addition to the team after the injury to Kalnietis. You know, they asked Coach K about Kalnietis' injury, and Coach K said, we have a few guys missing too.
Boogie Cousins, nice move. And scoring against Jonas Valanciunas.
Remember that elbow he caught in the first half against Valanciunas.
Got called for a technical. Did Cousins. Team USA a perfect 7-0 so far through this tournament. 2 wins away from a 4th straight gold medal in major international competition.
He tried to foul Harden again.
No call. This time Harden, a very hard foul from Donatas Motiejunas will pick up his 4th.
His teammate.
A couple of Houston Rockets going at it.
Hey, remember early in the summer, Demo was tweeting out that Harden and Howard don't really eat with their teammates. They don't spend a lot of time with each other, and that time Demo spending some time with Harden, putting him on the ground. Looks like they got the they call it the unsportsmanlike foul in FIBA,
yeah.
Or the intentional foul.
James Harden will go to the line. I'm sure the folks in Houston are like, guys,
yeah,
got training camp in a couple of weeks.
I've never been Motiejunas is one of those stretch 4 men who doesn't really stretch the defense because he's not a consistent shooter. He wasn't a guy I was, particularly high on coming out. Would have been a nice college player.
Now 23 years of age, was drafted by the Timberwolves in the 1st round.
Traded, yeah, draft night.
Right to Houston, played a year in Poland.
And that Johnny Flynn deal that got rid of Johnny Flynn's contract, I think.
U.S. enjoying a 22-point lead with 3:25 to go in the 3rd. A 3-pointer for James Harden. Best way to answer a hard foul. It's got 12 in the 3rd.
Not bad for a team with so many superstars missing, right? Youngest team Coach K has coached, only 24 years of age. Watch out.
Cousins' attempted pass is tipped out of bounds, and ESPN2 later tonight is going to bring you USA Basketball Women's Showcase presented by Nike starting at 7 Eastern. Women are going to take to the court. A red-white game as they get set to head to Turkey for FIBA's Basketball World Championship later in the month. And you can watch it live on Watch ESPN as well. And a travel call on DeMarcus Cousins.
Well, they haven't called a travel for 4 minutes, so they were due. I think there's a quota system.
That's the easiest laps we've seen so far from
The interesting thing is, it wouldn't matter, Mark, if we were watching Turkey play Serbia or the Philippines. Trying to figure out what a travel is
it's a bit ambiguous.
Difficult.
Motiejunas for 3.
Look up.
Down court for Harden, who was scoreless at half. And how about James Harden in the 3rd quarter spearheading this big U.S. run? He's got 14.
Coach K right now, you want to rotate people in and out, keep everybody fresh. They'll have 2 days off before Sunday, assuming they hold on to this lead. Tomorrow is, quote, a travel day. Something we've seen out of James Harden that you see nightly in the league is getting out in transition, attacking the glass, and getting himself some easy points.
That was on DeMarcus Cousins, his third. Going to put Martinez Pocius at the line.
You know, Martinez went to prep school in the States, and I think he only stayed 3 years at Duke, but got his degree. I may be wrong, but he was hurt quite a bit, so you never really saw him in action. And then he came over to Europe, and he's been a really, really effective player.
He was in Spain the last couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Real Madrid.
And he's going to Turkey this year. And he's going to be on a very good Galatasaray team with some very good players. Carlos Arroyo, we've talked about during this tournament, among others.
Pocius was part of the bronze medal team, Fiba, 4 years ago in Istanbul.
He and Coach K have seen each other a number of times on this kind of stage since his days at Duke.
And a foul called on the far side near half court. DeMarcus Cousins, that's going to be number 4 on Cousins. You know, I thought coming into the game, the Lithuanian game plan would be try to get those bigs like Davis, Farid, Cousins in foul trouble. It actually was the guards who got in the early foul trouble.
Well, Team USA's guards, it's not going to, I don't believe it's going to rear its ugly head in the next 52 minutes. But Team USA's guards have had a tendency to get in foul trouble in this tournament. Lots of gambling, and the gambling goes both ways, because the gambles have led to some easy baskets and runouts, and they've led to fouls. And we thought that would potentially be a problem versus Spain and all those plethora of guards they have. So they need to get through this game, and then they have to make sure that nothing is taken for granted as they get ready seemingly for the gold medal game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a 25-point lead, and there are still 12 minutes and change to go. You had talked about Coach Capel. I mean, everyone's planning for Spain, right? But how much does it now, when you're looking ahead to either France or Serbia, change how you look ahead?
Well, I don't know. You see Calnietis there, Montes Calnietis, their injured point guard. But no, it's not going to change anything, because one thing Coach K has done a brilliant job of is, and you heard it in the interviews, this team is focused on whoever they play next. And as I said, human nature would say Spain was in the back recesses of their brain, but they've done a phenomenal job of whoever it is. You know, it wouldn't matter if it was the Ukraine or Lithuania today. 40 minutes of basketball, kind of like an NCAA tournament atmosphere.
Down 25, Darius Lavrinovic missing. Harden got good position. Mason Plumlee on the floor. He came in when Cousins went down with 4 fouls. Rose missing from outside. And Plumlee, who's obviously one of the last guys off the bench, but has had, I'm sure the Brooklyn Nets will be happy to have him back off a great experience.
It's like, what do you call the guy that finishes last in medical school? Doctor, right? Same thing here. He may be the last man on his team, but he's been pretty good.
Here's tomorrow's other semifinal. France, of course, the stunning upset of Serbia. How do you handicap this matchup?
You know, it's a good old-fashioned 50-50 game, really. Teodosic is the best guard in that game. A pick-and-roll maestro. Diaw is the team leader for France. They got a great performance out of Rudy Gobert yesterday, the young big guy from the Utah Jazz. So, you know, I handicap it as one of those college conference games in the middle of February between Michigan State and Ohio State. Teams know each other so well. There we go. We learned that in kindergarten.
Yeah, a lot of green and gold sprinkled throughout the Palo San Jordi.
Yeah, so you know, really, those teams know each other so well going back to the junior days.
Ready to attack toward the rim, tipped out, but Harden has it against Kuzmiskis. Off the dribble, James Harden continuing his outstanding third quarter. 16 points all in the third. Plumlee went for the steal. Lavrinovic had it taken away. Plumlee again involved. Down court, Thompson for Rose on the reverse.
If there's been an MO for Team USA, Mark, it's been the third quarter. Whatever Coach K has said or whatever they've said to each other in this tournament, they have usually come out with a great effort in the third quarter.
They're going to count that basket. Thompson riding on the back. That'll be his first. You know, it doesn't matter if you're off to a sluggish start and you got a tight game in the first half, or James Harden is scoreless. We've seen now consecutive games at halftime. They've been able to blow away the competition in the third and not even have to sweat out a fourth quarter like Spain did yesterday, eventually losing.
So much firepower. And when you're trying to upset a team like Team USA, you can't get knocked out in the third quarter. You know, Lithuania needed to come out, hit a couple threes, tighten that 8-point lead, but Team USA jumped on them early.
A little more than a second difference. Third quarter clock and the shot clock. Here's Rose. Rudy Gay flying in, tipped out of bounds. 3 seconds to go and 2 on the shot clock. And getting up slowly is Rudy Gay. Well, Gay throwing his body into that one as he was attacking the rim. And the training staff will come out to check him out. Looks like a lip or tooth.
Yeah.
Upper lip maybe.
Caught the elbow right there. Yeah. Elbow.
From Darius Lavrinovic, and Rudy Gay not happy, slapped the floor as he was helped off. And remember, after the gruesome Paul George injury in the Las Vegas intra-squad game, he basically came off the street midway through camp to get another run here at the FIBA tournament.
He was hanging out at camp as a interested spectator and alumnus of the team. And when Kevin Durant decided to rest, Paul George, of course, with the injury, Rudy's asking, how's it look?
It looks like the tooth is pushed in just a little bit, too. And at the end of the quarter, desperation no good. A 33-14 USA third quarter, headed to the fourth.